Hello, good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining today's home buyers webinar. So I just want to make sure everybody can hear me, and I'm sharing my screen as well. I'll go through the presentation where I'll walk you through the market report along with the home buying process. Like that's what I'm gonna do. I want this session to be interactive, so put your questions in the chat. I will go into chat from time to time to make sure I answer your question because that's the whole idea. So you get the value out of the session here for staying. Um, so camera on or off, it doesn't matter, but just let's make it interactive. Put questions in the chat. So I will every few minutes I'll go into the chat and see if somebody's posted a question to answer that question. So if even you ask a question, somebody else can benefit from that as well because they might be shy to ask a question and things like that. So let's make it interactive so you guys get a value out of this session here. So I'm sharing my screen. My presentation is basically about VIP buyer benefits. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. And here is the real estate market report from February 2026, reported by Toronto Regional Real Estate Board. And this report gets published every month. So we always get the previous month data in the month. Like in March, we got February report. In April, we'll get the March report. But here, I'm not going to go through all the numbers here, but if you pay attention to the bottom right corner here, year over year summary table, sales 3868 in February 2026 versus 4127 it was in February 2025. So there's a drop in sales about 6.3%. So that's why it says a negative 3.6.3% change. New listings are less as well. That's even shocking and interesting because typically these things go opposite. If sales are lower, we will see the spike in the new listings. But in this case, no, new listings are dropping as well, which is a good sign that the inventory, which was oversupplied, is kind of shrinking down a little bit. So that's kind of a good sign there, to go towards more balance market and things like that. So new listings are down about 17.7%, as you can see on the slide. Active listings dropped 2.4% overall as a result because new listings are lesser. So that means the active listings are dropping as well. Average price dropped by 7.1%. So from last year, so that we know it's prices have dropped. Average listing days on the market, I pay attention to average property days on the market, is gone up to 54 days from 42 days about a year ago. So it's about 28.6% up. And we know it's taking longer to sell the properties, which is close to almost 60 days. So that's what's happening. And these numbers tell us basically sales are down, prices are down, inventory still lots available. Active listings are quite a bit. Yes, new listings are lesser, but at least the active listings are a lot. And properties selling days on the market have grown up, right? So that tells us properties are taking longer to sell, which gives a better protection to a buyer to negotiate a better price with the seller, right? So that's the idea there. The next page on the slide, I just want to pay attention to this column here called months inventory trend. All tab areas is typically 5. What does this 5 means? If no homes come on the market starting today, how much inventory do we have? How long will it take for us to sell the existing inventory? And right now that number is 5 months inventory on average. It's different from in different region, but average is 5. If you look at Halton is 4.6, Peel Region's 5.5, which is even higher than 5 months, 5.5 months. Toronto is 5, York Region is 5.5, Durham is a little less, 3.5, shocking. Dufferin 4.5, Simcoe 6.6. All these areas tell us how many months inventory do we have or we are carrying right now. So based on this 5 months, it is buyer's market. Anytime this number is 3 or above, then we consider it's buyer's market, right? So when it's 3 or lower, it's basically seller's market. So right now we are into the buyer's market. The prices are lowest, lots of inventory available. Rates are also low. You can get a mortgage close to 4%. fixed or variable, like close to 4 is the number that you get these days, 3 years, 5 years. So basically, what we are saying is this buyer's market, perfect time to buy a property if you're kind of into the market, even perfect time to upgrade a home if you currently own a home and you were thinking about upgrading. Because yes, you will sell your home at a lower price, but you will buy at a lower price as well. So you sell low, you buy low, right? But because you're upgrading, you're probably buying an expensive home or more bigger home, which is going to be more expensive than your home. So you still will be saving more money switching right now versus in the other markets, right? So I thought I'll just share that. This was the markets data. I thought I'll just go through it quickly, go through it. Again, put your comments in the chat. I'll go into the chat after and then answer any questions you have. This is another some stats as well, but I think I covered pretty much the stats, so I'm not going to go through this slide. I'm just going to skip over this. So this is what we're going to talk about in our content today in the slides. I mean, what's, my team's mission or our mission. Meet our team. I'm going to talk about my team here. Meeting your agent, which is myself. We're going to talk about that. Team approach. We'll talk about get your pre-approval, finding your dream home, making your offer, guarantees, closing on your home, or go serve big initiatives. So all those things I'm going to touch on in detail in further slides. Okay, let's start with mission. So our mission basically here is to help you find the best home at the best price with the least amount of hassle, right? So with the support of following systems, and I'm not going to go through those systems right now because I'm going to go through the slides and then go over those systems. Okay, here's myself, quick introduction about myself. Gautam Kapoor. I received my real estate license in 2007. I've got over decades of experience and knowledge. I've lived and worked in GTA over the years. I understand ins and outs of the market, neighborhoods, and what clients are looking for. I have seen all the ups and the downs on the market, like, all of them, since I, joined real estate career. My license is valid in Ontario. I was awarded Outstanding Achievement Award in 2023 from my broker. I haven't stopped there. I'm accredited through Toronto Real Estate Board, and I'm part of several industry organizations. As a local and neighborhood expert, I want you to know that I will constantly look for perfect home for you, right? So, and I specialize in first-time home buyers where I do these webinars, which is today's one of them. So basically use me as an asset, right? That's what it is. I've got years of knowledge. And I'm Canadian Real Estate Association member. I'm Ontario Real Estate Association member as well. So basically just to give you in a nutshell, right, what I am about, right? Quick introduction about me. So we're going to talk about my team approach. So let me get through team's approach. But this one, before I get into the team, some of the context, if you don't know, 72% of the buyers do not go back to the same real estate agent. So, but due to all these issues listed on the left side, poor communication, lack of professionalism, I'm not going to go through every one of them, but just to give you an idea that I keep staying focused on these issues so they don't happen with me or my team. So that's where I make sure that my buyers will come back to me. They don't switch to another agent, right? That's where I kind of make sure I communicate on time. I, don't overpromise, underdeliver. I always, I'm not too pushy. So I do all those things and keep an eye on, right? You know what I mean? I'm not like, overly busy that I can't answer your call. That's not the intent here. So that's where I kind of wanted to bring this to your attention here. What most realtors do, ABCs of real estate, I mean, they will advertise homes in order to get you to call them. They'll beg you to come in and talk to them. They'll choose a bunch of homes they think you will like. They'll drive you from house to house, showing you dozens of homes, encourage you to make an offer on the every house you see. Feel frustrated because the homes selected are not to your liking. Then they get on their knees and hope you will buy something out of those homes they showed you. That's typical real estate agent process because they're a one-man show. They have limited resources, they have limited time and energy. They're juggling around several clients with little or no help and limited funds, right? That's what they're doing. This is my team. Now I'm going to talk about my team. Scott Gilmore, he's my real estate broker. He's been 45 years in the industry. He sits in our office in Mississauga. And he's just a phone call away, basically, or he sits Monday to Friday. He's always there in the office. Michelle Gilmore, she's our marketing executive. She does all our marketing and she's very good at that. Nadia, she's our deals administrator, deals with the office administration part. She answers the phones. If you call, if you come to my office, you will meet Nadia there as well. So she's there Monday to Friday. Tatiana Londono, she's my mentor. She's a top producing real estate agent in Montreal. So you could Google her name. She's got millions of followers. She's very good agent. She's expanded herself now into Florida as well. She's selling properties in Florida too. Andrew Fogliato, he is our Facebook marketing consultant. So he's basically um, doing all our marketing through Facebook or Instagram, right? So I thought I'll just share. So basically, when you are taking my services, you're not just getting me, you're getting my team as well along with it. So they all play individual role, right? So we all do our own roles differently. So you get the client care, you got the separate marketing person looking at it, admin person, transaction coordination agent, which is myself. So we kind of do our own jobs together to kind of support you in that home buying transaction. That's the idea there. I thought I'll just run it by you there. So our team will help you secure the best financing, lower rates, beat out other buyers to best homes for you, negotiate lowest price and best terms for you, and meet your home buying needs with the least amount of hassle. So that's basically we kind of work together on the team. So here is the home buying process that I'm gonna go through. Some steps I'll go through a little bit quicker, some I'll go through a little bit slowly. But if you got any questions there in the chat, just put them in. I don't see any questions there in the chat, so I'll continue on because we've got only 1 hour slotted. But if you have any questions, put them in the chat. First step is always mortgage pre-approval. Meet the lender or mortgage broker, confirm maximum budget, lock interest rate. You can do that typically 90 to 120 days. Typically, you can lock that in. Understand monthly payment comfort, like how much you are comfortable to pay, right? So that's what you want, clarity. And this gives you strength because you will know exactly how much amount you can buy the house for, right? So that's why it's the first step and a critical step. I'll walk you through how that process works in the next slides as well, but basically mortgage pre-approval is always number one. So I'm not showing you $1 million home when your budget is only 600,000. You know what I mean? That's what try to gauge there. Then next step, you sign a buyer representation agreement with me, basically as your realtor. That's a formal agreement between the realtor and yourself that making our defines our working relationship where I kind of share my responsibilities that I'm representing you. I will look for the best for you. I'll explain my fiduciary duties I owe to you. So that's basically a formal agreement we sign. We talk about it outlines the commission structure as well, which I get paid through the seller, but I will explain that on that buyer representation agreement when you're ready to sign. But that's where the commission comes from the seller side. So you don't pay me directly anything. It comes from the transaction closing from seller side. So that's where that is. And then we set term and geographical area where you're planning to buy a home. So there's no confusion. There's clear commitment between me and yourself. We're working together as partners in there. So I'm there to protect your interests. I'm clarifying any expectations. I am doing your full representation. I'm doing the negotiation on your behalf. So I'm basically representing you, right? That's what we're doing. Number three, home search. So after the representation agreement is signed, then we kind of review listings, we analyze comparable sales in the area, we evaluate taxes, property taxes, condo fees, what's the resale potential. I'll give you some insights on that too. Then we book and attend showings, right? So that's where the value I provide in long way. I'll do the comparable sales and tell you what the prices should be in that neighborhood, that it's not an overpriced home or an underpriced home. I will give you that clear picture by doing the comparable sales analysis. Okay. Next is offer presentation and submission. So I'm basically a draft agreement of purchase and sale on your behalf. So we basically decide on key elements together, like what should be the purchase price, what will be the deposit amount, closing date, conditions, inclusion, exclusions, and as part of the sale. revocable time, which is like offer deadline. So we decide all on that, which we put on paper and send it over to the other party, right? So, and formula we kind of use there is strong price, strong terms we want to give, so we can get the home purchase done, and we win on if there is ever a bidding war, right? There's strategy around that too. So I thought I'll just share that. Next is deposit. So typically 3 to 5% purchase price is the deposit amount, but of course we talk about it together and we agree. This is comes due within 24 hours of the offer acceptance. This is to show seriousness. More deposit you put, you show the seller that you are serious in buying that home. It gets held in listing brokerage trust account, so until the closing, and it gets applied towards your down payment, right? So it's not like it's going anywhere. It's just basically sitting from your account to the trust account of the listing brokerage until the closing date. And that's when the lawyer will direct the funds and they get transferred towards your down payment to the buying that property, right? So that's typically the process of deposit. So I just want to emphasize that because I want to make sure people have money sitting in their bank account to pay for the deposit. I don't want to be like, well, oh, I didn't know that we have to pay a deposit, right? So I'm kind of typically mentioning that. Conditional periods. So yes, there will be conditions on the on your offer, which I will draft. There's financing approval condition, there's home inspection condition, there's status certification condition also in case of condos or condo townhouses or condo apartments. So those conditions we need to basically make sure we meet those conditions within the conditional period. Then we sign off the waiver to waive those conditions. That's when the sale becomes firm, right? So and that timeline would be typically 3 to 10 business days. And in that time frame, we get your firm mortgage approval from your lender, from your bank or a broker, whoever you're dealing with, or I can recommend you a broker and as well, or I can recommend you a mortgage advisor with the bank if you need my recommendation. We do the inspection if there's inspection to be done. We do lawyer review for status certificate if that's required in case of condos, right? So at that time, once all this process is done, it becomes a firm deal. Then there's no conditions remaining. It becomes a legal binding between you and the seller. And then we begin closing preparations. We arrange home insurance, book movers, transfer utilities, and it just at that point, backing out of that deal is not possible because it'll have serious legal consequences. Basically, seller can sue you if you try to back out at that firm deal timeline. Closing preparation, your lawyer will conduct the title search a few weeks prior to the closing date, prepares statements of adjustment for you, and calculates land transfer tax for you, and then you provide your remaining down payment, closing fees, lawyer fee, which is legal fees, which I can recommend you a lawyer to work with, and then they can help you with that as well. So I don't see any questions in the chat, so I'll continue with my presentation and see in the end. Um, Closing day. So what happens on a closing day? Basically, funds gets transferred from the lawyer to lawyer. Title get registered of the property on buyer's name. Keys get released to the buyer from seller. So then you're officially owner of a home or a property or a condo, whatever you're buying, right, on that day. Budget for closing costs approximately 1.5 to 4% of the purchase price. It includes the land transfer tax for Ontario and municipal land transfer tax, because in Toronto there is municipal land transfer tax. Outside Toronto, there is no municipal land transfer tax. It's only the Ontario land transfer tax. But if you buy a property in Toronto, you pay the land transfer tax twice because that's again Ontario and Toronto. But there are some rebates available as first-time home buyer, which we'll touch on that a little bit in the presentation down the road too. You pay legal fee, and that covers part of that for 1.5 to 4%. I said title insurance is covered, adjustments are covered, any extra taxes, utilities that you need to pay to the seller because they've paid in advance. That's basically part of the adjustments. Then you get the home insurance as well. And typically, and these things are very important at the bottom, smart buyer rules. I mentioned that to everybody because as a first-time home buyer, you don't know sometimes. No job changes before closing, no large credit purchases, move fast during conditional period. That's important. We move fast with all the conditions to waive, and we review all the numbers before waiving conditions. So once it's waived, it's kind of firm deal. There's no backing out. Okay. Granting you pre-approval. So let's talk about that process. So what does the pre-approval look like? you will need to submit all these documents to the lender. Either it's a bank or you can work with an independent mortgage broker who has access to multiple banks, credit unions, and things like that. But you need all these details to supply to him or her to get you a pre-approval letter for mortgage to tell you the amount that you can get the mortgage for. So you need to have your driver's license, SIN number, your address, your employment information, your offer letter, your employment letter sometimes, and then your pay stubs, your list of your bank accounts, assets, confirmation of income, which could be notice of assessment, T4s, T1 statements, and that can be all these things that you need to supply to the bank to get a pre-approval, right? So that's what happens. So why is pre-approval important? Because you will get to know exactly how much you can afford. That's the idea there, right? Before you start looking. Um, how much cash is required, it'll tell you what your monthly payments will be. You get the best financing with lowest rates, most favorable terms, and highest quality of service through us. And so you can make a stronger offer here, right? With the pre-approved because you have the pre-approval already. Just considering two scenarios, if you got a pre-approval, you can put an offer with no conditions, right? So that kind of help you to make a stronger offer. If let's say you're in a competition, you will get the um, basically you will get preference over the other buyers if you're in competition situation because then you know it'll be pre-approved. Well, you already have, you're not putting any conditions, your offer will be considered stronger than the others. Okay, finding your dream home. What's that next process looks like? So that's basically how realtors do. They will do a random search. They'll pick some homes. They try to sell you one of them and basically wrong person deciding on your behalf, right? We do it differently. We've got a one of a kind of buyer profile system where we will set you up your buying criteria into our system computer database. Every day, our custom computer searches into the MLS to find homes that match your specific criteria. Then we email you those homes which are matching your criteria. You can pick, look at them, you can drive by them on all those listings. When you see a home you want to look at, give us a call, or if you have any questions about one particular home or a property, just give me a call, text me, email me. We will arrange a showing. Then there's no pressure to buy. You're picking the homes to see yourself. It's not basically I'm picking homes for you. You are in control. That's why kind of what we kind of are very unique with. We are not forcing homes on you. You basically pick your own homes to see. Um, yeah, so then as a result, there's no more searching online. As soon as the market comes up with a new property matching that criteria, it will be emailed to you right away. You get immediate access to hot new listings before the other buyers. Then there's no more pressure. You know what I mean? You pick on your own. Also, you're not overpaying because you will get the first crack at the home or look at the home right away before the other buyers get to it. So we can negotiate best possible price for you. Um, so home finder system, we've got these off-market properties as well that we have access to that we can get for you if you are very specific for a neighborhood that you're focusing in and fixed budget with this specific criteria. These homes could be coming soon to MLS, bank foreclosures, distress sales, properties not found online, builder closeouts, unlisted properties, expired listings, right? So there's no bidding wars because these homes are not even on the market at all. So we have access to these as well. But you just need to tell us what you're looking for. We do it through a meeting with us. We will invest our marketing dollars to target that neighborhood to find a seller which will match, the property that you're looking for. And once that home is found, we will basically show it to you, do a private viewing, and we'll negotiate the price on your behalf and get that property sold offline. Like we place ads like these that I'm showing that, for example, look at the one on the right. We have a buyer looking for a townhouse in particular area in a city with a budget, and we just put in phone number, put the ads out. Lot of sellers do end up calling us. We had one case last year where somebody had bought a townhouse off market through me, where they were very much narrowed down to one area that they wanted the property for a specific budget. We looked, met their criteria, and then got them the home that they needed off market. We even send home finder letters in that given neighborhood. We can send like letters like on the right, where we say we have a buyer who's looking for this kind of home. If you want to sell or you're thinking of selling, call us. We get a lot of calls on that as well. So that's how that process works. Specialized strategy, we basically, when you're ready, we will basically discuss with you the offer price, we financing terms, interest rates, cost to close, possession dates, inspection details, all those details. Okay, and we negotiate the price on your behalf, best terms on your behalf. We personally present your offer, we negotiate all the terms and conditions on that agreement of purchase and sale on your behalf. Just to share, our team is knowledgeable. We know ins and outs of the real estate market. So we know zoning, we know all the real estate development, investment matters. So we kind of can help you, to make a right decision for you. Okay. Our guarantees, some of the guarantees, love your home, new home guaranteed, or we'll sell it at a discount. Let's say you buy a home through us and you don't like it within 1 year, you want to sell it, we will give you a discount on the selling price. So that's kind of the one of the guarantees that I offer. $10,000 saving of the market value purchase guaranteed, or I pay you the $1,000. That's another guarantee that I offer. 10,000 savings of the market value as part of the negotiation that I do. If I don't do it, I'll pay you $1,000 on closing, right? So that's basically what I'm doing, offering there. Honest promises guarantee. This is not guarantee I offer where I'm not promising you moons and stars. I will be transparent with you as to what I can do and what I can't do. So everything comes clear upfront to you. There's nothing hidden. And then we help you close your home basically, right? So, and here are, as part of closing, I can help you with your lawyers, contacts, home inspectors, appraisers, title insurance companies. So we can recommend you all those people if you need help or recommendation from me. If you know somebody already, you can use them, no problem at all. But I just offer as part of it, as some people say, well, I'm doing first time home purchase. Can you recommend a lawyer? Then I will give them a couple of lawyers to call and they can pick one out of them. So I've done that over the years with my clients, right? So that's where I thought I'll just share that. Worthy cause, I mean, of course, as we make money in real estate, we donate as well. Two charities I support here. One is Sick Kids in Toronto, Sick Kids Hospital. Second one is Covenant House in Toronto, where we do regular donations. That's part of the thing, because if we make money here, we should be sharing and doing charity as well for the good cause, right? So to help. Covenant House is also helps youths who are homeless, so that kind of helps in that way. Sick Kids, you all know, like they kind of work with kids who are sick and need some help. We've got a referral program as well. We kind of, each time you send us a referral, we make a donation in your name to a foundation of your choice. We can do that. Otherwise, we offer a cash gift as well, $500. When you send us a referral and they buy or sell a property through us, you get a $500 cash certificate from us as well. So and all we ask in return is your loyalty. Basically, you get pre-qualified for a mortgage through us. You get access to best listings through us. You get priority access to off-market properties that are not found online. Our entire team basically supports you, represents you. We give you written satisfaction guarantee as well. So, and a free cancellation guarantee anytime. If you don't like our services for whatever reason, give us a reason, and then we'll be able to cancel the agreement, no problem at all. Some of the first time home buyers programs, let me go to the chat. I don't see any questions there posted in the chat. No, nothing there. Okay, so first time home buyers programs, there's some Ontario provincial program, there's some federal programs there. I'm gonna list few, but what my recommendation would be that you guys book a call with me one-on-one, and that's where you would get the value. Because if you don't want to ask a question here, I'm going to put a link in the chat where you can book a direct meeting with me. In one-on-one, we have a discussion there together, see where you're at in the home buying, timeline, and support you and help you and see if we can work together, right? That's what, there's no obligation in that call. So you can book that call and we do like a virtual call, and we can meet in my office as well, face to face. But again, there's no obligation in that call. and then we see where you're at in the journey of home buying, and then how I can help, and then we can move forward with the next steps and things like that. So here is the first time home buyers first home savings account. This is basically newly introduced. It's basically a tax deductible account for first time home buyers where withdrawals for a qualifying first home are tax free. Key numbers is about $8,000 annual contribution room it gives you from the first year you open. Total $40,000 lifetime limit, right? And there's carry forward rules apply. 1 year carry forward up to $8,000 you can do. First time home buyers kind of get qualified for this program. You have to open an FHSA, any of the bank accounts, and then you can just move ahead with that. That's one of the program. Let me go to the next one. Home buyers plan RRSP withdrawal. That's been there for years. You can withdraw up to $60,000 from RRSP to help you buy your first home. And this is per person, not per the couple. If you've got a partner or a spouse looking to withdraw as well, they can do their own withdrawal. And it's repayable to RRSP over the 15 years annual minimum, right? You know what I mean? So it's $60,000 limited, and you can withdraw that money to buy your home. Again, it's first time home buyers. And then how you apply, you request withdrawal from RRSP issuer using this CRA form, and then you can withdraw that money basically and use it for your down payment. Some other programs, first time home buyers tax credit, there is federal GST, HST new home rebates, first time home buyer GST, HST rebate. Then there's CMSC Home Star mortgage insurance options for first time buyers. There's Ontario land transfer tax rebate that you get or refund you get. Toronto municipal land transfer tax rebate also you get as a first time home buyer. There's one new thing which got introduced to my list here, which I'm going to add on, is as well the HST rebate as well as a first-time home buyer, right? So on the new construction. So we'll talk about that through our one-on-one meeting if you want to know more details on that. That was basically typically I wanted to share. So this is basically a picture of me and my boss. I mean, my office is located at 5700 Can Cross Court in Suite 103 in Mississauga, which is like Hurontario and Matheson Boulevard. And basically I can support you buying that right home. Here is my real estate portfolio. I'm just sharing, not to show off, but just to share some of the experience I have. Um, the top property is a sixplex that I own in North Bay, Ontario. So I do help clients buying investment properties in secondary markets as well. These are positive cash flowing properties because these are multiplexes, duplex, triplex, fourplex, sixplex, fiveplex. Recently, I've been looking at 111plex property for one of my clients as well. So they're very reasonable priced and they give you positive cash flow after paying your mortgage, property management, everything completely hands-off property management. Okay. Bottom is a duplex property in Toronto. It's a semi-detached home, brand new. I bought from the builder 5 years ago, so it's rented to both units. Bottom one is the single family home in Whitby that I own, and that's been rented as well. Some other multiplexes I own in North Bay. Again, top left is the fiveplex, and the right top gray one is the triplex property. And bottom one is also a triplex. The bottom right is also a triplex in North Bay. We've got a property manager there who looks after it. We pay him the percentage of the rent as the fee. If somebody is interested in the investment, more details, you guys can reach out. I do webinars on investment properties as well. That's a separate webinar because this webinar is geared toward only first-time home buyers, right? So here, some of my investors, clients have bought properties over the years. If you can tell, duplex 285K, fourplex 440K, all in North Bay. Duplex 325K, this triplex 410K, this triplex for 547K. So my clients have bought these over the years through me, and I'm good in helping, explaining all the expenses, the process of real estate investment in secondary markets, right? So that's where I'm just kind of expert on. This is my last slide. So let me go to the chat if I see any questions there. No, I don't see any questions. So again, my recommendation is to look in the chat, click on that link, book a one-on-one meeting with me. I'll be happy to walk you through the process, answer any specific questions. We can talk about how much down payment you should have, or you should be minimum down payment needed. We can talk about that. Doesn't matter where you are in the time frame of buying that property, whether you are in like ready to buy or whether you are kind of 6 months away or a year away. Always good to sit down and meet and get the help, so at least you can build your path to buy a home eventually in life, right? That's the idea that I'm sharing here. Any questions? Anybody want to come off mute and ask the question? I'm happy to do that too. If nobody's there, then I'm gonna end the call here. It's about 7:36 right now. I leave some time for questions, but I guess there are no questions today, so I'll be waiting and looking forward to hopping on those one-on-one calls you book with me, and then no obligation calls, and then definitely will try to help you there on the other spectrum. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for listening. Hopefully, I added some value, given you some education on the home buying process and what's going on in the market. That was my intention today. Everybody have a nice evening, and thank you very much for joining today. Thank you. All the best. Bye. I'm gonna end the call now.